inspired and equipped as a young person to be able to contribute to your country's development and be able to transform your life. Now today we're going to be looking at youth innovations for job and wealth creation. How can we be able to be innovative in as far as doing agriculture is concerned, to make sure that the young people can be employed but also be able to create certain things that they can do themselves to be empowered and make a living. And with me today I have the president of the Farmers Federation. Welcome to Youth of Purpose.
Thank you, my dear. Pleased to be here. My name is Dr. Dick Nwamanyaka Mganga. I'm the president of Uganda National Farmers Federation. I am pleased to be hosted here on Youth of Purpose.
For the second time.
For the second time, and to talk about youth innovation in agriculture for job creation and wealth creation.
Amazing. So first of all, tell us about the Farmers Federation. What exactly do you do?
Very good. Uganda National Farmers Federation is the largest farmers organization in the country. It is now 30 years old. It was formed on January the 22nd, 1992. We do mainly 3-4 things. One, we mobilize farmers, we organize them and empower them, and then speak on their behalf, and then coordinate other actors in the farming sector.
So what is the Farmers Federation doing? Today, as you understand, we're talking about the youth innovations in agriculture. What are you doing to support the young people to be innovative in the agriculture sector?
Here, thank you so much. Where we are seated right now is in front of the offices of Uganda National Young Farmers Federation. This is our child. It is a body that is supposedly doing the work of the parent organization does in the mainstream. That is mobilize, organize, and empower, and then speak for. The Young Farmers Federation of Uganda has been a champion of organizing. They have branches across the country in every district where we are located. But before I go to what we're doing, let me take this opportunity, you permit me some time, take this opportunity to invite the young people around the world to recognize the opportunities that have come within this sector. If you are graduates to be called a youth, you've been available since the beginning of 20th of March 2020, when the President of the Republic of Uganda looked for this country for the first time. When the country was under lockdown, following the invasion of COVID, we recognized the importance of agriculture in the country and in the world. And then we also recognized the advent of technology. Young people have two main advantages. The risk-taking advantage and the foresight. Risk-taking is actually, by definition, foresight. And then the ability to adapt quickly. If you want something to be learned quickly, give it to a young person. So when COVID came and you saw online platforms emerging. Businesses online platforms. So the advent of technology provides at the fingertips of young people an opportunity to integrate and an opportunity to occupy a unique space that was originally considered, agriculture was considered dirty, punishment in school, all that kind of stuff. But with your smart device in your hand, and with these opportunities, with these innovations, you can go at different value chains. I will call it a digital value chain, because there is coding, there is utility of the chain. All these are opportunities for the young people to take up space. The second and the most important is the incentive that comes with involvement. There is money. We have listened to the African Development Bank president. You don't go at the top of the presidents of the African Development Bank to speak without research,
Wow.
without backed by facts. He says by 2030, agriculture trade in Africa is going to be 1.3 trillion. And $1.3 trillion in Uganda, Africa alone occupies 65% of the global agriculture suitable arable land. Uganda, within East Africa, occupies above 65% of the, or 40% of the land suitable for agriculture. So if you are a youth in Uganda and you have identified a niche, there is an opportunity to create wealth through agriculture by 2030.
Cutting you from there, first of all, why is it in any way important for us to have innovations in the agriculture sector?
That's why I began innovations. Innovation, by its definition, novel. And by definition, novel, something relating to doing things in a different way. And doing a different way in agriculture, we mean we have shifted from the way we were producing, the way we were marketing, the way we were tourising, to a better way. If it's an innovation, which means productivity has increased, or even you have occupied a space that naturally has not been occupied before. So an innovation is very critical in finding ways of involving those who are not involved, largely the youth.
Yes.
And for example, they talk about capital, but now technology allows you to do things with limited capital.
Wow.
Because you need knowledge first.
So basically, we are talking about innovations from the time of someone clearing their farm, planting, harvesting, post-harvest handling, and then the whole kind of a value chain.
Yeah.
So what exactly is the Federation doing to support those innovations, majorly for the youth in the agriculture sector?
One of the central points that the Federation is doing is on empowerment. We have ICT for farmers, where we create a platform for digitization. You are perfectly right. The value chain begins with pre-planting until the food reaches the fork moment.
Oh, yeah.
And each of these stages, there is a node, and that node has to be occupied by somebody. And when I say there is an opportunity now for the youth, identifying which nodes to, for instance, smallholder farmers have problems to find right inputs, authentic inputs. If you have a smartphone, you create a market platform for inputs. You don't need to leave your seat or your room to be able to do. And the farmers now have, Africa has the fastest digital smartphone penetration in the world, and it's among the young people. So we digitize our farmers, profile them, digitize them, and then give them the digital skills. So if the farmers are skilled and your young person is interested in creating a business for input distribution, you've seen young people who are here talking about egg production.
Oh, yes.
You can also start a business on a digital platform for selling feed, authentic feed to the farmers around the country. So you can buy honey online. You can buy eggs online. You don't need to own a farm to be able to integrate in the value chain. So what we have
exactly
done,
on that issue of markets, one of the biggest challenges that young farmers are facing is market for their produce. What can be done through innovations to make sure that there is market for the products?
Market for the products. Now this again, we partnering with young farmers like Ankore young farmers from Western Uganda.
Yes.
Uganda National Young Farmers Federation, and training on the digital opportunities that are there. There is where you see the largest companies in the world are online companies. One is the likes of Amazon, Amazon, the second richest man in the world who owns Amazon, he sells on a digital platform. 25 years ago when he started. When you look at Facebook, he's a young man as well. It's a digital platform.
Oh, yes.
So there is immense opportunity for markets as long as you meet quality and quantity on the global market.
Talking about quality and quantity, another challenge that young farmers are facing is access to financing, affordable financing. You might find that a young person is doing agriculture on just an acre of land which is not even his. Maybe they are renting it, so they cannot use it as security to go to the bank and get financing. What can be done to help the young people have affordable financing such that they can be able to thrive in the agriculture sector?
There are several prongs, but before I go to the financing element, on answering the other first question, which was what are we doing, I would like to emphasize the fact that we are creating the digital platforms and skilling on those digital platforms so that the young people can identify and take opportunities of those digital platforms. And those digital platforms are also tools for solving the issue of financing. There are a number of initiatives that are everywhere, and probably we should advocate for them to move to the platform where young people are. You've had 30% of the money going to the parish development model is dedicated for the youth. We have had the Youth Livelihood Fund. You have had private sector companies like Stanbic Bank with incubation platforms. We have had PSFU has initiatives that is supporting young people, but we have 75% of our citizens young. So some of these initiatives do not reach everyone. So what could we do? Young people that are innovative enough, which is the theme of this talk, are innovative enough, are capable also to mobilize resources amongst themselves. You see 1,000 shillings per week is 4,000 in a month. 4,000 in a month is around 50,000 in a year. If there are 10,000 youth, they have created a saving institution for themselves, and then they can start investment fund, and that investment fund can go move around. Most of the banks, they use the principle of creation of money from credit. So you can do that. That's an initiative. An online bank by the youth can solve the source of capital problem. We have an initiative which we're going to be working with different people here, including the young farmers from Ankore, the national young farmers here, to create a youth investment fund from their own savings. It's a long-term project. That long investment fund can also be used to attract grants, can also be used to attract partnerships. So those are avenues in which an initiative of young people can be pushed forward to create resource opportunity that was not existing as a result of having a network.
Is this sector getting enough financing, but again focusing on my targets, my audience, which is the young people? Are they being supported enough?
There is a strong bias on both sides. The bias on the bureaucrats, so in those who are in government, not necessarily. Actually, our president understands the potential of agriculture. And the potential, because whenever he takes the platform, he tells you opportunities that are there. Then there is a bias amongst the young people as well. I think I was a young person. I spent my time here as a board member. I want to challenge the young to stop with the waiting initiative to be taken by somebody else. There are young people that have taken initiatives, but they also experience has some way it stops. Exposure is very important. every time if government can get an opportunity to expose our young people to international trading practices, it would be game-changing.
As we can see that most of the things are going to change by the initiative of you as the young people. If it's about innovations, you have to come together and be able to do something about it. If it's about financing, the same. You can bring a team of other young people, collect the little that you can, and over a period of time, you can be able to, support and finance your own innovations. And for that case, we're going to listen into a number of young people to tell us what they think about innovation and how that can transform their lives, but also change the aspect in as far as creating jobs and also creating wealth for themselves and transforming this nation is concerned. Let's watch a few of these young people and then we'll be right back.
Hello everyone, my name is Wize Seth Ruta, team leader Ankole Young Farmers Association and also a dairy and goat farmer in Ballarat. To me, youth innovations is about bringing together different technologies to make a living in agriculture. Today in Uganda we have a big challenge of unemployment, and of which we've seen that 65% of Ugandans, according to the National Youth Strategy of Agriculture by the Ministry of Agriculture, states that most of them are young people, of which 65% are farmers and 63 are young people. 63% are young people. But we've not seen this in physical evidence of how much wealth they've been able to amass through being employed as young farmers or young people. The challenge has been that everyone is doing what is normal and it's not able to make them money. That is to say, they are doing farming in the cultural way, not as a business. We need to put in a little bit of innovations. That's what I'm trying to say. Today, young people have a big challenge, which we call a market. For instance, you have your goats, you have your cows, you have your eggs, but you're not able to find the market. Why? Because you're not innovative enough. First of all, innovation starts with us networking, finding the right networks to deal with. We have to farm in groups. That's the first thing. Knowledge sharing will cause us to be innovative. What am I trying to say? The kind of innovations I'm saying are joint markets whereby young people come together to brand and market their products. That's one innovation we can see. You come together, you have the right branding, you look for market jointly, you're able to set the right price. That's an innovation. You don't have to have all the technology, which is very costly for you to do that. You need to come together as a team, as young people in a group. If you're all poultry farmers, for instance, come together, have a processing place, each one brings their eggs to that place, we package and sell as a team.
My name is Juliana Laniero from the Young Farmers Federation of Uganda, the umbrella body for all young farmers in Uganda. The federation brings together youth in agriculture from all the regions of Uganda, and we are supporting youth through our thematic areas of professionalization, education, advocacy, networking, and services. And today specifically, I'd like to speak about innovation in agriculture pertaining to youth in agriculture. And in the world right now, we know that innovation is driving a lot, not just in agriculture, but in all aspects. And COVID-19 has showed us what innovation can do. And in agriculture generally, for the Young Farmers Federation, we've had a number of ways that we've been using innovation to reach out to young farmers, especially through using the internet for communication. Youth are innovating through mechanization to add value to agriculture products, and also in marketing. But still we face a number of challenges, especially for young farmers in Uganda, because the cost of innovation is quite high, and we know that internet is a big driver of innovation. That's still a very high cost for many young farmers in Uganda, because internet is not just accessible in some areas, but also it's still quite expensive. We still have taxes charged on internet. And for some young people, the internet is a source of information where they can acquire more knowledge to get agriculture information through mechanization, how to market their products, add value, and reach out to other young farmers across, not just in Uganda, but across the world. So what can we do as young people to harness innovation? What can the government do? What can the stakeholders do? Personally, at the Federation, we usually want to start with what we can do, what is our role as young people. I believe as young people we have a big role to play. We need to go out there and seek for new knowledge to become more innovative in agriculture. Because without new knowledge, a lot is changing every day, and we shall be left out if we are not innovative, if we are not discovering new ways of doing things, because that's what innovation calls for. So my plea to young people is that don't just sit back and get comfortable with what you have, with the knowledge you have, but move out there, learn something new, and put it on your farm, put it in your agribusiness venture to become a better person. At the Federation, we work with young farmers from off-grid areas where they cannot access internet, where there's no electricity, and so they are a bit limited because they do not have access to all these drivers or infrastructure to support them innovate in agriculture. So we request the government that as young people, we want to do better, we want to contribute to the growth of the sector in our country, because the budget definitely is now pointing towards mechanization to commercialize agriculture. The parish development model has been rolled out, but as young people we need to leverage on us and our innovation to build these models to make it more effective to the grassroots levels and not only in urban areas.
Hello, my name is Loana Chigozi, and I'm the CEO and co-founder and operations manager of Cloverdale Limited. My company majors in poultry. We do commercial farming, and I'm one of the youth that have benefited in the different programs of youth involvement in agriculture. Through my production, I was able to raise my birds from 50 to 2,400, and yes, it has not been a very easy journey, but I have been able to maintain my production. I am lucky to be surrounded by the different youth who are involved in the different levels of value chain for agriculture, from production to value addition to exportation. I'm encouraging all the youth out there to come and join us in our journey. You can come and join in the production journey, you can come and join in the value addition, come and add value to poultry, to coffee. And for me as a farmer who has eggs, I would be so excited to have someone who has a platform where I can easily access, where I can easily sell my product to different people in Uganda and outside Uganda. So I was lucky to be part of the people who went to Germany for the youth, for the exchange program, where farmers from Germany come to Uganda and farmers from Uganda go to Germany and get to learn different ways of practicing agriculture. And there's so many things that we got to learn, things that we brought back and we want to add to our innovations. Through those innovations, I believe the young people can be empowered to become a greater force. Thank you.
Okay, those are great insights right from the youth, and I do believe from what they are saying, you can understand that innovation is very crucial, and if you are to benefit from agriculture fully, we must, be able to embrace innovation. Doctor, as we conclude, you have a trade show forthcoming, but also the Youth in Agriculture Innovation Day. Can you tell us about those before we finish?
Thank you. Let me take this opportunity to invite all the young people, those are outside school, to come to attend the 28th National Agriculture Show in Jinja, to the showgrounds. This is a platform for technology transfer. This is a platform for business-to-business networking. This is a platform also for partnerships. And it's very important that if the youth have initiatives they are undertaking, it's time to expose yourself and take advantage of this exposition. Then the second, the Youth in Agriculture Innovation Day in Ballarat on 12th of August. It's very important again. It's organized by the Ankole Young Farmers. It's an international innovation day, Youth in Agriculture Innovation Day, and it will take place in Ballarat Innovation Village. We all know what Innovation Village has been doing in this country in promoting young people. It's important that youth become bold enough to come and showcase their innovations. Okay. So come and manifest, come and demonstrate, come and expose the work you've been doing on 12s. The winners will be awarded distinctive awards. And then lastly, I would like to announce under our For You, Farm Opportunities for the Young in Uganda, we are going to have a mentorship program. And mentorship program, part of this is mentorship, being able to tell opportunities. So we work with the young farmers in the country and their members, young farmers in Ankole and Ballarat, to create a mentorship program right away from farmers, ordinary farmers, to international traders, to distinguished people, financiers. So we will create a national database on mentors and people who are willing to actually speak to the youth, people who are willing to actually help partner, people who are willing, including people like you who are willing to expose the youth on what they are doing. So the Young Partnership Program, Mentorship Program starts under the flagship of Uganda National Farmers Federation, Makerere University. I do teach at Makerere University. And being a teacher, I have had all the worries and worries and the prospects of young people. So I sought mentorship. Mentorship is essentially holding a hand of a young person as they move.
Thank you so much, Doctor. Because of time, I think we shall have another episode where we shall come and talk about the mentorship program and how the youth out there can be part of that. I thank you so much for watching this show. I do believe you have been able, to get a different perspective in as far as innovation in agriculture, but also the young people being involved in this sector. As we understand, the two sectors that are having money right now, agriculture first, ICT second. So if you can have the two, agriculture and innovation, you can never go wrong. I thank you so much for watching this show. My name is Ivan Tumukunde. Follow me on my social media platforms at I_Tumukunde on Twitter, Tumukunde on Instagram, and Tumukunde on Facebook. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Youth of